You started giving up in silence. You don't train anymore. You don't read. You don't push yourself. You feel drained, empty, directionless. This video is for those who refuse to die like you. Just have to stay until the end. Get back to real training and intensity with a partner. Get back to the gym the right way, bro. No lazy routines or making things up as you go. Start a real plan, one that actually challenges you. Begin with a simple split. Push, pull, and leg. 3 different days, 3 types of workouts. Straightforward, no complication. And if you can, find a partner who's just as crazy about progressing as you are. Someone who won't let you quit, who yells at you if need, who pushes you when you're slacking. The kind of guy who looks you dead in the eye and says, pick up that damn bar right now. Don't you dare drop it. Because when you train alone, sometimes you get comfortable. But with someone next to you pushing you, keeping your pace high, everything changes. And if you don't have someone like that, then you become that guy. Be the one who doesn't let the other quit. The one who pushes, motivates, and yells without caring if he seems intent. Because in the gym, you're not there to be nice. You're there to make progress. Train early, even if you're half asleep. Discipline starts when your body still doesn't want to move. And if your partner shows up lazy, wake him up by yelling if you have to. That's how you train. That's how you make progress. That's how you build yourself into someone who refuses to live like the average. Get your discipline and ferocity back after losing your way. Maybe you started the year all fired up, set goals, and swore. This time it was serious, but now everything's crashing down on you. Maybe you've even forgotten those resolutions. Or worse, you're still stuck in the same spot, and convincing yourself this year will be just as mediocre as the last one. But it doesn't have to be that. This is the moment to reset your mind, to reignite the fire. It doesn't matter if you messed up in January. It doesn't matter if you screwed it in February. This isn't about being perfect. It's about getting back in the fight. And yeah, even if you said, I was going to train every day and didn't, that doesn't mean you're done. You just adjust, cut your losses, and start again. This 7-day plan is built for that, to bring back that savage mindset, the one that pushes you forward, lifts you off the ground, throws you back again, because there's still time left this year, bro. We're in February, not December. There's plenty of time to turn everything around if you stop acting weak and start moving like a man again. And listen closely, don't quit. If you're going to give up, do it tomorrow. And if tomorrow doesn't feel better, push your surrender one more day. That trick worked because more than once you'll wake up with zero motivation and your mind will start throwing excuses at you, like no one sees what you do, no one cares, the haters keep talking. But that's exactly why you keep going, because there are people who do need what you're doing, even the ones talking trash. They're messed up too, they just won't admit it. Criticism always comes from pain, from broken life. So even they, without realize, feeding off your discipline. Digital detox and stimulant break. Take a full day without your phone, bro. No notifications, no social media, no messages. And while you're at it, cut out the caffeine, nicotine, sugar, or whatever else you've been using to keep yourself stimulated all day. Just for one day, clean out your system. Eat real, simple food and relax. It's not about skipping your work. Do the opposite. Go for a run, a walk, move your body, but disconnect from everything digital. That non-stop overload is wrecking your ability to think clearly. The internet isn't real life. What's real is outside. The streets, your close people, the physical world. That's what keeps you grounded. Don't spend the day comparing yourself to edited photo or fake lives you see online. Everyone's got their own crap, even if they don't post it on Instagram. And if you spend too much time watching what others do, your brain turns to mush. You forget how to think for yourself. Give yourself a day where your mind actually gets bored, because boredom is where the best ideas are born. Here's an example. Someone left their phone behind a few hours just to test it out. Went for a walk. No music, no distraction, just him and his thoughts. And in those hours, ideas hit him that he hadn't been able to come up for weeks, because his mind finally had space to work. Do the same. It's going to feel weird, like something's missing, but give it time. Let your mind breathe. Let it think without being plugged into anything. That's when clarity comes back. That's when you reconnect with yourself. Handle mental overload, action, and exercise. When you've got 1,000 things on your mind, feel like you're making zero progress. You're overloaded. It happens to a lot of men, especially if you're trying to start a business or build something your own. You want to launch one project, then another. Your head fills up with ideas and tasks, and you end up frozen, doing none of them. You're blocked, not because you're lazy, but because you're overwhelmed. And that feeling is one of the worst. It eats you alive, drains all your energy. That's why the first thing you need to do is recognize it. Don't ignore it. Say out loud, I'm overwhelmed. Because once you identify the problem, it doesn't control you the same way. The solution? Don't try to figure everything out while lying in bed or staring at the ceiling. Get up and train. Never make decisions from a low mental state. Ever. Get your body moving first. Hit the gym, do a workout, run, crank out some push-ups if you're at home, whatever. And if you can, grab a couple of friends and sweat it out together. That resets your head. After that, sit down alone, calmly, and make a list of everything that's weighing on. Doesn't matter if it's big tasks or small stuff like paying someone back or cleaning your room. Write it all down. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Don't try to solve it, just list it. Once it's all there, pick one thing from the list, the most important or the one you know you can do right now, and do it. Right after watching this video, if your place is a mess, clean it. If you owe someone money, pay them. If you've got an email pending, send it. That first step will flip a switch in your mind. You'll feel a small win. It'll hit you with some dopamine and you'll think, all right, I'm back. With that feeling, you knock out another point and another. Before you know it, by the end of the week, you've taken control again. Your confidence rises, your focus sharpens, and you're back on track. You don't need to solve everything today. You just need to move. One real step gets you out of the rut. Get back to learning and feed your mind with positive information. When you're overwhelmed with a ton of things to do, it's easy to drop what actually feeds your mind, bro. One of the most common mistakes is stopping reading, stopping learning. You get tangled up in your routine, packed with tasks, and forget to keep putting good stuff into your brain. But that's exactly what was keeping you sharp, motivated, and seeing things from a different angle. Reading, watching videos from people who add value, books that open your eyes. All of that is mental fuel. So if you dropped it, get back to it now. Doesn't matter if your energy's low or your self-esteem's on the floor. You need to bring in new ideas, new ways of seeing things. If you don't, you'll keep getting stuck in the same thoughts over and over. Clear out the trash noise from your head. Stay off social media for a bit. Instead of stuffing yourself with empty content, grab a book or watch a video that actually challenges your thinking, that helps you grow. You don't need fake motivation. You need perspective. And that only comes when you actively train your mind. If you're feeling drained, lacking confidence, or aimless, it's because your discipline is slipping. And when discipline falls, everything else falls too. It's no coincidence. That's why you need to get back to that mindset, order, and focus. Discipline is freedom. When you do what you know you need to do, even when you don't feel like, that's when you take back control. So start reading again. Add content to your routine that lifts you up. Don't settle for watching the same stuff as everyone. The information you consume is what feeds your decisions. And if you're just swallowing garbage, don't be surprised if you feel like garbage too. Change it. Today, train martial arts as part of your masculine identity. Write this down, bro. This week, you've got to hit a martial arts class. No excuses. This isn't a suggestion. It's part of the system. And it doesn't matter if you've never fought in your life, if you've never thrown a punch. Now's the time to start, because every man needs to know what it feels like to have another guy in front of him, fists up, no filter, no screens. In that moment, it doesn't matter how many followers you have or how cool you think you are. The only thing that counts is if you can hold your ground, react, and control your body. You don't need to become a pro, but you do need to know how to move, defend yourself, and handle pressure. Because at any moment, life can throw you into a situation where there's no time to think. And if you've never trained, you'll freeze. A lot of guys have been there. They don't talk about helplessness sticks with them deep. Look at guys like Tom Hardy, Keanu Reeves, or Henry Cavill. They're not just actors with good genetics. They're men who train. Hardy practiced jiu-jitsu and boxing for his roles, but he stuck with it because he saw what it gave him: focus, strength, presence. Keanu got deep into close combat training for John Wick, and what he gained wasn't just on-screen skills, it was real respect from pros. It's not acting when they take you seriously at the dojo. Cavill, for Superman, mixed MMA with strength work and made it clear. A man who wants to represent power has to live it, not just fake it. And it's not just about self-defense. It's for your mind. A session of mitt, sparring, or grapple puts you in a different mental state. You leave with your adrenaline sky high, but your ego crushed, because there's no fake. If you don't know your stuff, you get wrecked. And that humbles you, but it also makes you grow. Book that class, bro. It can be boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, whatever, but get in there and do it during these 7 days as part of your reset. It's not just about training your body, it's about reactivating your savage essence. That part's in all of us, but most have it sleeping while they binge show or scroll their phone. Get it back. This week is about getting back in the game, and the guys who never train will never understand it, but you will, because you're gonna keep going, even when the rest fall behind. Review your physical goal, diet, and supplements. Set new goals with your training partner. You're not just there to lift weights, you're there to push each other to another level. Having someone next to you who's just as hungry to grow forces you to perform better, because if your partner's making progress and you're not, it's gonna show. No excuses when the guy training with you sees you every week, and that's key. Healthy competition with another man who's also building himself applies pressure, but it's the kind of pressure that pushes you, not crushes you. Check if you're increasing the weight on your lifts or just repeating empty routines. Track your numbers, see if there's real progress, or if you're stuck doing the same thing over and over. And it's not enough to lift heavier if you're not eating to grow. A lot of guys train hard but don't see changes because they eat like they're on a diet. Your body needs a calorie surplus to build muscle. Basic science. If you're in a deficit, you're not growing, period. So if you're full, you force it down, just like you force yourself to finish a set when you're on the edge. And speaking of science, testosterone is one of the most important hormones in the male body. It plays a role in muscle recovery, strength, mood, motivation, and even libido. A diet high in good cholesterol, like eggs, red meat, avocado, real butter, helps keep it elevated. Same with vitamin D, which you get from sunlight or supplement. Also zinc, magnesium, and good sleep. But one thing many forget, heavy, consistent weight training naturally boosts testosterone production. So if you're lifting seriously, eating strong, and sleeping right, you're building the perfect hormonal environment for growth. Now, about supplements, they're not magic, but they do help. Creatine, 10 grams daily. Keep it simple. It's been studied to death. Increases strength, speeds up recovery, and helps hydrate your muscles. No excuses. It's cheap, it's safe, and it works. And if you're training hard and not some quitter tapping out by the third set, you'll feel the difference in a few weeks. All of this builds character. It's not just about muscle. It's about being disciplined, consistent, and surrounding yourself with men who take their development serious. You're not here to mess around. You're here to turn savage. Hit like, share this with another man who needs it, and come back tomorrow. We're not done yet.